MSP 1.0 versus MSP 2.0 with 7C. So the MSP 1.0 business model is not even widespread yet, and here's the new 2.0 model already. I guess you would like to see what the key differentiators between the two models are. The list is referring to an average, but not remarkable MSP 1.0 and MSP 2.0 practice. We are assuming that the MSP 2.0 model is heavily supported by 7C. The differentiations could be simplistic, but our aim is to show the possible limitations, challenges of the MSP 1.0 model, and the opportunities of the MSP 2.0. You have to understand that MSP 2.0 is not a substitution of the 1.0 model. It is the extension, so you can move your existing 1.0 service forward, but with 2.0 as a companion, your existing options are going to be very promising. Tech value versus business class. Giving someone a technology solution is different than giving business value. The technology solution is only part of the complete solution. If it is ERP, the software is just part of the whole internal processes, interactions, etc. If it is an email system, it's also just part of the whole communication of the company. The business value of an ERP project is to drive out the fat of their processes with automation and streamlining. The business value of the email system is an effective, well-processed, internal and outside communication with limited access in a secure way. The technology is 30%. The rest is HR, management, controlling, etc. In MSP 1.0, usually the MSP only does the technology part of the project. In MSP 2.0, he becomes the leader of these projects and evaluates vendors, does the project management, quality control, and the technology part. This is a big difference in value to the customer. In the Techy slot versus being the trusted advisor. The general limitation of the 1.0 is that you are a technology service provider, and you provide value by technology. Yes, we know, you are providing business sense for the different solutions, but count how many times you got the following call. Hi, we need to expand our operation abroad. Please help us figure out the best way. Or, we want to penetrate the new market segment and establish a sales representative system. Please help us figure it out together. Probably very rarely. Usually they call you with, you guys know an accounting package which can handle foreign currencies? Or, can you guys deploy a server for MS Dynamics CRM to us? So they put you in the Techy slot. There's nothing wrong with that, but the problem is that if you have to wait for them until they realize they need something concerning technology, it limits your opportunities tremendously. As we have seen, in MSP 2.0, you give them business value, which means you are there if they have a major challenge in the businesses. You know where they are going, so you are able to become a trusted advisor, or a virtual chief information officer, a VCIO, so you can be there well before there is something about technology. Or, you are even able to let them know the IT challenge, background of their decisions. That changes your opportunities tremendously. Thin focus versus broad focus. In MSP 1.0, you are focusing on technology, and you're part of the client side. Maybe you give them quarterly planning sessions, even some kind of strategy, but the scope of these projects are limited in your service scope. In MSP 2.0, you think of everything globally from the client's perspective. You think of your MSP 1.0 service like one piece of the pie, and you manage all the vendor, third party, even the internal IT team in some extent. You negotiate the support contract for the ERP vendor. You sign the bill of the telco company and so on. So your focus is on the global value creation of the IT, not just the MSP 1.0 scope. Low-level focus versus high-level focus. With this in mind, you can see the MSP 1.0 focuses on technology and low-level execution. MSP 2.0 focuses more on the management on a high level. Neither of them is better than the other, but truly these are different games. Most of the time, the low-level groundwork isn't visible for the C-level executives. They are not able to measure, evaluate, just see the costs. In high-level work, you are dealing with them personally. You help them with their problems. Your visibility is very different. High acquisition cost versus low acquisition cost. With MSP 1.0, you can usually go to the client who has some painful problem. If they do not have IT-related issues, it is very hard to convince them to move forward. The other problem is that because the problems come at different times, it is very hard to be connected with the prospect when they have the pain they need to do something about. So you have to go and keep the relationship going for a long, long time to be visible and let them know what the problems are so you can give solutions to. So the process of starting the business is quite slow and unpredictable. On the other hand, MSP 2.0 gives a solution to a general problem, which is not something related to big problems, pains, etc. You are able to start the conversation anytime without any specific problem, pain, or situation. After reframing, you are able to close deals to some extent, 50% or more. That means you are able to start some basic MSP 2.0 service, and when they acquire a problem, you can upwell your different higher value MSP 2.0 services. Hard to acquire versus unique value proposition. The other sales-related problem in MSP 1.0 is not just the closure ratio and the long cycle, but the effort needed. Usually, the entry barrier is very high. If there's another MSP vendor there, even a crappy worker, you have to be able to prove that you are far better at the same price, and usually you have to bear some part of the costs of the switching, so that means a fight and comparable prices. In MSP 2.0 with 7C, it's different, because your service is on a high level and with a very unique value proposition. It does not really matter what the existing situation is on the low level. You can go and offer your services in a white space, without internal competition. This makes the process easier, without sacrificing the profits and without high swathing costs. Of course, working with another MSP is a funny thing, and if they are crappy, you can easily get rid of them in a few months. Pushy sales versus consultative sales. Because the MSP 1.0 is quite a competitive place to be, you have to push sales very strong. This means your sales tactic can be pushy with learned sales techniques, closing strategies, not natural communication. It gives the other party less comfort and much less trust because you want to talk them into something. If they have real problems and you give them an immediate solution, it is fine, but this happens less and less as the market is saturating. In MSP 2.0 with 7C, the sales technique is really different. It is a consultative sales approach. You get to know them in a business and IT perspective, taking casual meetings with questions, helping them understand their situation with the questionnaire-based benchmark and report. You conduct a workshop and an action plan. It's more like a consulting experience and you show your value from the first minute. This comes more natural to you because you can use your needed expertise in a very well-formatted way, and it gives you an instant trust during the sales process. No sales process versus predictable sales funnel. Usually, smaller MSPs don't have any sales-oriented people, so the sales process is absent, and the acquisition and the upsell are very unpredictable. Even more mature mid-size MSPs lack a streamlined, well-controlled, transparent sales funnel with all the metrics and motivation for the sales force. In MSP 2.0 with 7C, the sales funnel is the consultative sales process. Because you have a clear message for the audience, the inbound marketing is much easier. You have an inbound marketing tool, a discovery tool, questionnaire, analysis, report, workshop, action plan builder, and first quarterly plan. This is the sales process which you can measure very easily to see the necessary bootlicks, spread the responsibility among different people, get them accountable for their part, etc. Also, because the process is well defined, you are able to easily educate the people and get very predictable results. You can speed up the funnel to do an inbound marketing campaign, and you can expect new clients in 4 to 6 weeks max. Even an inside sales guy can ship a really good quality targeted prospect for 2 to 3 reframing workshops, which, with a 50% closure ratio, is 4 to 6 new clients every month. Low CEO awareness versus high CEO awareness. As we have seen before, the awareness of the MSP 1.0 services is quite low. Usually, during the reframing workshop with existing clients, it turns out they don't know much about what you do exactly on a weekly, monthly basis with their backups, policies, and so on. You may have discussed it with them, and they may have nodded to do it, but these are not visible to them, especially when you are working well without outages or firefights. You can completely disappear. In MSP 2.0 with 7C, you are working with the CEO directly. You solve their business-related problems. You gather information to help them decide. You lead their virtual IT department with all the vendors and internal IT staff. And you report to the CEO directly. This gives you a different visibility and awareness of the CEO as to what it is you are doing and how you are at your job. That, of course, is a very different relationship, trust, and respect level. Slow progress versus immediate results. Usually it is a fact that although MSPs have a wide portfolio of services, the client signs up for a limited part of the portfolio. They start somewhere, but it is a very slow process to upsell all the great new services. The reason for this is, firstly, the MSPs are not really proactive in this, and secondly, that the portfolio is not in the business context of the client. So he is not able to see the big picture, only separated services. With MSP 2.0 with 7C, it's different, because you are able to put the IT and your services and other IT services in the business context. It's much easier for the client to draw a development roadmap for 1 to 2 years, and execute this development plan together with the MSP. So you are able to raise the maturity of the client step by step in a measurable, accountable format. This gives you a faster, more aligned process to grow on the client's side. Everything starts with a very solid first quarterly plan. Executing it flawlessly will open the door to further development projects. Commodity business versus high margin business. Because the MSP 1.0 market is getting very saturated, the competition is getting higher. The vendors and clients go direct. More and more services are getting a very tough market. This is called communization, where the services differentiate only by price at the end. To avoid the communization and suffer lower margins, price reduction, etc., you have to change or extend your model. Because MSP 2.0 with 7C provides the client unique benefit and business context and a very powerful weapon against their competition, you can be in a very unique position. This way, you are able to sell your existing offers at a higher price. More streamlined, so very profitable. Also, because the MSP 2.0 model is very new and rare, you can charge this very high value-added service at a much higher price. Average brand versus remarkable brand. As a local technology company, it's very hard to make a remarkable brand. All the communication, service delivery, collaterals, people have to be 100% aligned to give a consistent brand feeling. You have to have a very unique value proposition where everybody knows what is behind it. Volvo is a safe car. Starbucks is a great place to relax. Apple is a great user experience. With MSP 1.0, it's very hard to provide these engaging messages. With MSP 2.0 with 7C, it's different. You can show a very stable user experience during the sales process. Your messages, the service delivery, communications, everything is about professionalism, high level with a friendly, down-to-earth feeling. Therefore, your brand can emerge from it, and you can become a very remarkable local brand with high referral rates and powerful communication. Cloud risk versus cloud proof. The cloud is disrupting the MSP 1.0's main business and revenue stream, the infrastructure projects and support. No question about that. But with that, all the other services are changing and the consumptions of these services as well. It can hurt MSPs in a big way. With MSP 2.0 with 7C, the cloud model is actually favorable. You can use the growing complexity and business impact of the several different cloud-based applications and services to build up the management layer for that on the client side. Mixing cloud and on-premise with integrations and reliability, security is a huge issue. You can control the whole ecosystem and build a solid service around that. Because MSP 2.0 is about managing the IT at a high level, the items, technologies, approaches, models of delivering IT are completely independent from the business model.